And we're off. So good morning and welcome to Monkhouse on Mondays. Today I have the pleasure of introducing Malcolm to you all. Malcolm and I actually worked together in Bolton many, many years ago at a building called Bolton Excel, which is no longer there. So Malcolm, just give us a quick intro, who you are and what you do, please.
Great to see you, Dave. Good to see you. Yeah, so my name is Malcom McPhail. I'm Group Chief Executive of a company called Lifeleisure. We run 15 facilities in Stockport, 13 under contract, and 2 private facilities, or one private facility, one hybrid facility. The private facility, Stockport Sports Village, which we own, £8 million asset, and in 2018 it won Health and Fitness Club of the Year, the amalgamated section, so we're very proud of that. And the other facility, the hybrid facility, Holsworth Village, won Leisure Centre of the Year Streamline in 2017. So you can tell I'm extremely proud, and I thought that I would get that in early in terms of to improve my credibility with the listeners and the watchers. We also run the Barrow contract, which is really doing fantastically well. We have a sports development team, we have a community health development team. Our turnover is circa 12 million, 12.5 million, and I have 600 staff. Is that a good start? Or?
It's a great start and a really nice introduction. And I think one of the things around what you do is actually your teams as well. You've got a really strong senior management team, predominantly females. You bring some really interesting concepts to the way you manage stuff. But before we get into the detail of the conversation, just talk about what you've been up to abide by the Chief Medical Officer's rules, effectively, that we're all allowed a bit of exercise a day. What have you been up to, Malcolm? Well,
David, between you and me and everybody's listening, I haven't been abiding. I've been heading up to a track that's I do still run. So I run at Masters Athletics. So I've been heading up to a track that has big fences all around it, and I've been climbing over the fence to do my training alone, but it's been highly enjoyable. I'm not sure I'm going to name the track just in case somebody turns up and stops me, and maybe later on this evening. But it's been pretty much business as usual, because I'm one of these guys, David, and I've known you for I'm going to say 30 years, but certainly 25 years.
25 years, yes, 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years. So I've been really fortunate that I've always one of these guys who I think I invented social distancing. Like, you know, my pals say that they're going to get my t-shirt. I'm really happy with my own company. And I'm happy as Larry running up in that track myself, just getting fit and enjoying. You know, some of the sessions I do are quite hard anaerobic sessions, so you can't think too much. It's self-preservation as a 53-year-old. Because if you overcook it, you don't come back and have a nice bath. You go to your bed, like you get up the next morning. So I've kept really fit and I've really enjoyed it. But part of that is because I'm just loving it, just spending time with myself. Is that weird?
No, not at all. It's actually what I miss, if I'm honest, because I drive a lot, as you know. I really miss that opportunity to reflect, because I just don't get time for me anymore, because the car is time for me in my little box, traveling from wherever I was coming back from, reflecting on what I'm doing. So I get that need to be out yourself. I've just been going out on my bike. I've been doing 40Ks at the weekend.
Yeah, because you've always been a fit guy since you 25 years ago, and you always were. Yeah. So
it's interesting. But look, talk to us about what it's been like. What have you guys been up to at Lifeleisure during this lockdown period?
So just like so the big skill set we have at Lifeleisure is our culture, and we run a strategic approach called OKRs, agile methodology that I know you know about, but I'm not going to go into today. So for me, it's been keeping the guys focused and motivated and keeping them going, and it's been really tough, and just that continual worry about what's around the corner and what's going to happen. and also not just in a business sense, but when we got the guys back together, I was noticing some strange behaviours and you know, the impact a lockdown has had on individuals, and we can focus about the business and what we've been doing. But for me, I'm glad I focused on individuals, making the calls, spending time with as much time as I could with the guys on a one-to-one basis, talking to them, supporting them, and that's really what we do at Lifeleisure anyway. In terms of I once stupidly said to my PA that my door is always open, and I kinda didn't mean it really, but I've had to stick by that. My door has literally actually and hypothetically always had to be open, and I would suggest that to any chief executive, any leader, like get down to the one-to-one stuff, the one-to-one coaching as much as you can. So I've been focusing on that certainly in the early days, but as things have changed, as we started to prepare for reopening, then bring the teams more together and articulating in a more collective manner. We have a set of principles that we call the watch principles: winners, authenticity, together, caring, and happy. So we have a set of people principles, and we felt that was really important to ingrain our culture. That this is the things that were non-negotiables in life, leisure, and we've changed them to version 2, the COVID-19, where we talk about warriors, we talk about agility, we still talk about together, then we talk about compassion, which supporting each other through the mental health aspect, and then we talk about heroes for H. And heroes is about standing up, it's about standing out, and if necessary, standing alone. So we have these new watch principles, version 2, the COVID-proof principles. So just talking to the guys about what that means to them.
And I think that hero bit is really interesting for me, because the hero bit, to some extent, allows you to do the extra stuff that you do. You're a very active trustee for Simspa. You're part of GM Active, and I know you've been contributing to the bigger picture and the thoughts that have gone behind reopening. So what have you been up to within sort of GM Active and Simspa in the last few months?
Yeah, so in terms of Simspa, really working hard to make sure that the next round of youth panel, young people coming through, are you know, tough act to follow, because you know how good the first group were in terms of ambassadors, and just a class group of young people that have done the industry proud, and just making sure that the young team coming through know what they're going to have, the shoes they're going to have to fill. So that's been a massive concentration for me. And then obviously Simspa board means just really taking a step back and just like looking how far we've come in such a short period of time. And now we are really true industry shapers, and the industry's going to go forward with us. And you remember the days when we didn't have tuppence, and I just come in on the back end of that. So you know, I've enjoyed the halcyon days, you know, where you've stuck through the difficult times, and you must be incredibly proud of you know, the board meeting we had you know, the other day. You must be incredibly proud to hear some of the language and be able to be part of that. I'm kind of just I'm going to say just like a standby hero, but you know, I've just come in on the back of a lot of you guys coattails, but it's been fantastic for me. And in terms of GM Active, I'm just so proud of those guys. Like the talent we have at a GM Active level, at chief executive level, and a senior management team level is just, I would say, pound for pound, has got to be one of the best in the country. You know, I listen to the detail, the context of the meetings that we have, and just the thoughts and the energy. I just, you know, I'm so proud to be part of GM Active, and also in terms of how these guys are acting and how they're behaving through this crisis. That's how you really get a cut of a guy when things are going good. it's when things are going bad, and you know, great leadership for Pete Burt, Stuart, Andy King, just, you know, I would say industry legends have really stepped up, and it's just been a pleasure to be alongside those guys.
No, absolutely. Just give us a bit of background onto GM Active, Malcolm, because there will be quite a few people watching this that actually haven't probably heard of what you guys are up to and what it actually means to be part of GM Active. Because I think it's,
okay,
from a location basis, I think it's a fabulous idea.
Okay, I'm going to try and do this justice. So GM Active is a collaboration of leisure trusts in Manchester to share and exchange operational excellence, to provide a stronger lobbying force across Manchester to promote physical activity and general leisure provision. We just felt we would be literally stronger together. So it's a group of chief executives. It's an information exchange. It's a lobbying group. It's also created a number of fantastic projects that are on the ground, that have got boots on the ground. The Prehab for Cancer program that I was just hearing about today, just off a call with Andy Burnham, and he was amazed about the success of that. So I would urge, like, any county or any regional group of trust to follow that model if they can. Listen, we have our differences, and we're all different people, and we're all different, have different approaches. I mean, pound for pound, the best operator I have ever met in this industry is Andy King, and I've said it on a number of occasions. So Andy brings that operation excellence to the conversation, and then you've got, you know, Pete and Stuart, just great articulators, and Stuart's a fantastic operator as well. I'm trying to work out what I actually bring other than but we'll
actually,
go into that.
It's interesting because it's not just trust, is it? There are external partners that are part of this, that operate some of the sites in Manchester. So actually, that bringing together and that sharing in the way you've done it is really groundbreaking, because people are sharing, people are learning from each other. It's brilliant.
Yeah. No, listen, David, that's a fantastic point, and I probably included GLL in that because of the way the relationships are. So you've actually just brought out the main point by me actually no singling out like GLL, and you know, and they are part of it, is part of the Manchester delivery. So that is really fair to say.
Brilliant. Right, Malcolm, you've got 2 minutes left. So in that 2 minutes, I want you to give me a bit more about the youth panel and why it's so important, because of things like youth employment going forward and the continuation of our sector, bringing in really intelligent, sharp people who can really make a difference to what we do.
Wow, 2 minutes. So I think it's really important that we don't miss out on the expertise and the perspective that youth and young people can provide to our sector. And it's really important that we give them a platform, and that platform allows them a voice. So we have to listen to them. And I think that is, a lot of people set out to do stuff like that, but unless you formalize it and you create a structure around it in terms of the relationship with the main SimSpot organisation, and what is expected of the young people, I think it can fall. So what one of the important things is that, and this wasn't my idea. This was Mark Woods, our fantastic chairman. So Mark challenged me and said, you know, you're not just going to just sit about for the next couple of years. I want you to do something. And you know, I have a history of you know, supporting young people through. We have a very young, as you mentioned before, young female senior management team at Lifeleisure. So I've got a history. So I thought, I looked at my kit bag and I thought, I've got that skill. I'm going to just play that one out. Mark went, fantastic. This is what we're going to do. And that's how it started. So the young people have a platform. They have, you know, the Royal Chartered Institute, you couldn't get a better platform in terms of formality and ability to reach out with that substance of support. So we select hundreds literally of applicants. We select to the best of ability the ones who will go forward on the youth panel. They're set within a structure. They know what's expected of them. I'm really excited having met the guys on this year's panel. I think they're going to just go even further forward than we did last year. The guys last year, David, you remember, they changed their strategy right from the get-go. They weren't happy with the head operations strategic approach, and they told them, and they changed their strategy. You know, that enough said. You know that they're not just there for show. They're there to represent young people, make a difference, and then get young people off their backside and get them into this industry, and give them the confidence to do that. And I think that's where SIMSPA have excelled in providing that exemplar approach to support young people. Does that make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense, and I'm lucky enough to mentor a couple of them. So that's ones, and I'm still mentoring them as they finish.
Well, you've got the gold medal in mentoring in terms of the feedback. So I don't, you know, so I don't know what you're doing, but certainly the guys that you have been mentoring, and for me with Grace, I mentor Grace, and Grace stayed on. Like, it's just been a fantastic learning experience for me.
Yeah.
This kid,
I was going to say exactly. Yeah. No, Malcolm, that's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're
no problem.
Really looking forward to catching up and having a proper coffee and chinwag. So, Malcolm, you take care. I will see you soon.